And now it's time for Guerilla Roundup. They'll let you know what happened overnight when things transpire you whilst you sleep. Right there in the loop you keep.
Welcome to the Guerilla Roundup of day 3 of the third Ashes Test from Headingley. I'm very pleased to have making his debut, I think, on the Roundup, Ajit from the Armchair Cricket Podcast. Welcome, Ajit.
Hi, Missy. Thanks for having me.
Um, so I'll just kick off very briefly with a summary of where we're at. We lost both of the first two sessions of play today to the weather. We're sitting around waiting for something to happen. We ended up getting a total of 25.1 overs today, so it wasn't a lot.
hmm
Australia started the day on 116 for 4, and the conditions were very conducive to swing bowling. They didn't go very well, to be honest. They lost Mitchell Marsh for 28, Carey for 5, Stark for 16, Cummins for 1, and Travis Head and Todd Murphy managed to put on over 40 for the ninth wicket. For Murphy was out for 11, Head was out for 77, and Australia ended up with a total of just 224 at 33.3 and over, setting England a target of 251 to win. England just had 5 overs before stumps, and of course by then the sun had come out, so the conditions weren't as conducive to swing. And Crawley and Duckett survived, not necessarily comfortably. There were a couple of edges, but no chances. And Crawley ended at 9, not out. Duckett at 18, not out, and there were 27 for no wicket at stumps, meaning that they only need another 224 to win in the remaining 2 days. As far as the England bowling was concerned, the wickets were shared around. Broad had 3, Wokes had 3, Wood had 2, and of course Moeen Ali had the 2 from the day before. So that's where we stand going into day 4 tomorrow. Ajit, what are your observations about today?
So first of all, I think Australia did well to get to 224 from, I thought at 139 for 6 when Carey was dismissed, it was quite precarious. They could have been, 160 all out.
Yep.
And to get that additional 60 runs, that was all down to one man, Travis Head. And good support from Mitchell Stark and Todd Murphy. I think Todd Murphy and Mitchell Stark, they were going to score quickly. They were scoring at 80 and 110 strike rate each. And I think that was the right approach. And I think England may have lost the plot a little the moment Cummins was dismissed. So even at 170, right, they didn't bowl dry at Travis Head and he took his chances. So first of all, Travis said he was going at, I think, 30, strike rate of 30, 35. It was very, very tough bowling, tough batting conditions. England were bowling really well. So that's the first thing to say. Broad, Wokes, and Wood did a very good job. But then the moment he saw that the wickets were going down, I think he snatched that moment and he went for his shots. So his strike rate jumped by about 30 points. He did really well there for me.
Yep. One of the things that struck me is that throughout his innings, in fact, Stokes has set field to Head that
Hmm.
involved having either one or no slips, generally speaking, sometimes a short leg, but basically putting everybody out deep and bowling short at him. And
Hmm.
understandable possibly yesterday. Today I thought that seemed crazy in conditions that were perfect for swing bowlers to not use Wood and Broad and Wokes using their swing to him to get catches to the slips, just kept going short in the hope that he would hole out. And of course, he eventually
Hmm.
did, but not till the 10th wicket. And he had 77 on the board by then. I think
Yes.
that was. I think that was dumb cricket, to be honest,
Hmm.
and I didn't like it. And I think they probably cost themselves a few runs doing that. But that being said, the
Hmm.
total of 250 is I think well short of par. England
Yeah.
are, according to the bookmakers, favourites. Or Winviz, I think they had them at 66%, Australia at 33%, and I think
Hmm.
that's probably about right. What are your views as to where it goes from here?
So for me, 250 was the score I had predicted, saying if Australia crossed that, they would, gain more confidence. Until 250, England would be comfortable. Just they got them right at 250.
Yeah,
Right. This is the first thing. Second thing, I think they were bowling to get the wicket, and they were sort of confident of anything under 300, frankly, in their own minds. Right. This is a bass bowling team. They're very comfortable chasing. They have comfortably chased bigger scores than this. Maybe the quality of attack could be debated and so on in the fourth innings earlier on in England, like last year. So when you look at that and the way they have begun, this is the most important thing as well. I mean, there is some symmetry here. They need exactly 224 to win Australia's third inning score because they have exactly chased down 27, which is the
yep,
lead plus 1 run.
yep.
So with all 10 wickets in hand, there will be some interruptions. So I'm more interested in seeing how they adapt after the interruptions, whether that'll make the pitch quicken a little bit, or that'll the conditions, the overcast conditions might make it more tougher for them. But knowing this England team, I sort of agree that they should chase this down.
I agree. I agree. And the weather forecast for tomorrow from the Met Office doesn't suggest a chance of any rain before about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, by which time uh,
Mm,
they may not have actually chased it down, but they'll be very close to it, in my view. So there's no doubt that England have had definitely the best of conditions in this match for when they're bowling.
hmm.
And I think it's fair to say that apart from the short pitch bowling to head, they made excellent use of it today in dismissing the rest of the Australians. The last 6 wickets that fell really put them in a very strong position as a result of that. I thought Marsh and who was the next one out after Marsh? Carey.
Carry.
Uh, both were trying to leave balls and actually ended up
Hmm.
having them go off their gloves. One for a caught behind, one played on. And in both
Yeah,
cases, there was a bit more bounce than they expecting possibly, but I just thought that was just slack batting, really, on their part.
indeed. No,
And
I agree with you.
yeah, but the rest of the tail, the swing bowling was good. I think it there were some poor balls which got hit away quite frequently, especially by Head. Head hit several sixes. Just check how many. Um,
Three.
three sixes,
But
and he actually looked pretty good once he had his eye in, much more so
hmm,
than previously in this match. So I thought he did
correct.
exactly the right thing in the circumstances, uh, and hold out on 77 when it to a ball that was actually pitched up, which well, what a surprise, eh?
No, I mean, look, that's what I mean. If you can still bowl four short and your surprise delivery can be the one pitched up, right? That's still a good tactic. I think I was basically a little surprised. I was expecting Broad to bowl a bit fuller.
Yep,
Vokes also to go a bit fuller, but Wood with the pace he has, he can choose if he chooses to be a bit back of length. That's all right. But I think overall England would probably concede. They gave away 20 runs more than they would have liked. 20, 25 runs more
yep, yep,
in the longer run. I think they'll take that, considering where they are and how well their openers have started. Right.
yep,
So it'll be basically the first, what we always say, crucial first hour as always. But also, if there are interruptions, how they will shape up after those interruptions. So I think somebody said during the commentary in Guerilla cricket, I think if England fall to 80 for 3, 80 for 4, depending on who they send at number 3, right? This is another discussion. But I think then the match is really going to be competitive, really tough. If they get away to 100 for 1,
yep.
I think they'll just steamroll Australia. And it's
I
very,
think,
very important they do that, I suppose. Otherwise, the series is dead, right?
yep. Well,
This is the result now.
there's a part of me, even as an Australian, would like the series to still be alive going to Old Trafford. There's another part of me that
Mm.
just wants it to be won. So we shall
Well,
see what's happens tomorrow. So thank you very much for
hmm,
joining me tonight, Ajit. We do have to name our Gorilla of the day and our Tweeter of the day. Tweeter of the day, I think we made the point before that we're very open to bribery. when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
Don Diego de Silly Pants, who's always been a great contributor to us in on YouTube, has also made a financial contribution today of 1,000 Taiwanese dollars, which you tell me is the equivalent of 28.
31.5
There you
US
go.
dollars. Yeah.
There you go. So thank you for that, Don Diego, and thank you to the others of you who made contributions as well, and the new patrons we got today as well. It's apart from the fact that we really do need the money to do everything from buy microphones to pay the internet bills. It's also just a lovely feeling to know people enjoy it enough to contribute. So thank you very much for that. And our gorilla of the day, I'm sort of torn about this, but I think I have to nominate Ian Forth, for bursting into song, not necessarily great song, on several occasions during the afternoon, which is something we're not accustomed to. I'm not necessarily encouraging it for the future, but the fact that he did so was quite refreshing after sitting around waiting for play all day. So good on you, Forthy. Uh, as ever, if you like this, please click the like button below. Subscribe if you aren't already. And we welcome your comments, which we'll endeavour to reply to either on the YouTube channel uh, below this video or at Guerilla Cricket on Twitter. And if you're looking for some good wine with a 15% special Guerilla Cricket discount, click on the link to Ponting Wines below. Use the code GCAshes2023 for that 15% discount. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much, Ajit, for being with us tonight.
Well, if I can get in a word edgeways,
Yes.
I think England will really appreciate the win, because if you look at the ICC World Test Championship table,
Yeah.
only two teams on the board because there's a new cycle. Australia have 22, England have -2 because of
Yes.
terrible over rate that they've maintained so far. And the other thing I wanted to mention, please root for Netherlands tomorrow when they take on Sri Lanka in the finals of the
Oh,
CWC qualifiers. I mean, both teams have made it to the World Cup, which is a big fillip if you're a Dutch supporter, but I want them to also win if possible tomorrow.
yes, I'm sure you do. And that would be the first defeat of Sri Lanka in the Super Sixes at
Tournament.
all, wouldn't it? In the whole tournament,
Now
is it?
in the entire tournament, they are
Yeah.
unbeaten. So
Well,
that'll be
they've done
big.
extraordinary things, the Netherlands. So yes, you
Exactly.
should be proud of your country. Uh, so we shall be keeping a close eye on that as we're commentating on day 4 tomorrow. So we hope you join us then. And we'll
Thank
say
you.
good night to you. Thank you very much, Ajit. And
Good night.
catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And now it's time for Gorilla